Hey up folks, welcome to Sonofdel's life vlog on this, the 19th of January. Yes, it has been over 3 months since my last vlog. My fault for being lazy, but I've got a packed vlog for you. So strap yourself in because it's a good vlog. I've got 3 unboxings of my horror box subscription for October, November and December 2025. I have an unboxing of a Battle of Britain commemorative box. An unboxing of a Spectrum memorial box, which is good for all you people who like your retro gaming and your nostalgia. I've got two series reviews. That's Stranger Things and Welcome to Derry. I've also got a Since My Last Vlog, a Jigsaw gallery, and the word of the day was going to be coping, but it's going to be loss. It's going to be loss. So yeah, strap yourself in. Coming up first, we've got the unboxings of the horror box subscription for October, November and December 2025. Right, and here we go, October's box. I'll try to do them in order. October's box, we have, oh, this is unusual to start with. Oh, that's nice, a rather cool tote bag. You can tell this was Halloween box, can't you? Yeah. So that's an unusual thing to have in there straight away. Nice tote bag, that. I've got a piece of artisan fudge. It's vegan and it's called Death by Chocolate. You know where that'll focus? Yeah, there you go. Death by Chocolate. Ooh, that looks good. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it's been in here since October, so I'm just seeing if there's a date on it. Because if there is, and I haven't ate it in time, I've got to sling it. But luckily, there doesn't seem to be a date on it, so I'll have to look into that. Yeah, hang on. Best before 5th of December 2025. Boo-hoo. But I'll let you know anyway about that. So that's a slab of fudge. My usual bag, which is teas, coffees, hot chocolates, I assume anyway. Let me just find out. It's usually the same sort of stuff. Yeah, I've got a decaf tea, I've got Yorkshire tea, Lion's coffee bag, a couple of hot chocolate sachets, 1 Options and 1 Cadbury. So that's my bag of drinks, which I normally get. This is the proof that I told you I hadn't opened it, look. My second-hand book's still sealed. So bear with me a minute while I just open this. 1, 2, 3. So let's see what we've got, what goodies we've got in here, Alibaba, shall we? Ooh. I like second-hand books because what I tend to do with my books when I've read them, not the signed ones obviously, but any second-hand books I get, once I've read them I pass them on to a lady down the road who then reads them and passes them on to somebody else. So, you know, they're constantly getting read, which is good. Because I don't like the idea of a load of second-hand books just sitting in the corner gathering dust. This one's proving a bit of a mare to get into, so give me a second. Oh, I'm in. Pull my rubbish down on the floor. We've got Between the Crosses. Oh, I don't know this one. Apparently a DC war hero turned copper. So it's obviously a thriller. So that is called Between the Crosses and it's by Matthew Frank. And that's my second-hand book. It's fair read by that, isn't it? Looks right chunky bugger. Yeah. That's my second-hand book. My new books. I've got one by I thought I got it upside down then when I was reading the name. No, it's by an author called Nuzo Ono. That is not me taking the mic. And the book is called Futility. And the tagline is Murder, Revenge, Soup. As you can see, I haven't got the name wrong. Look, it is what I said it was. and that's a brand new book, and it's got a nice edge to it actually, black edges. So yeah, Nuzo Ono Futility, that's the first new book. Another book here, oh nice, They're in Your Head, They're Under Your Skin, Itch by Gemma Amore. I've read some creepy ones with crawlies and God knows what in, so that looks like that's going to be another one. One of the people have put on the back, a deeply felt haunted folk horror that crawls with secrets and darkness. This disturbing and tender novel possessed me long into the night. That's from somebody called Lucy Rose, who rated it. So I've got that. Also got, oh nice, a nice signature from the author of Futility. And a nice signature, yeah, from Gemma Amore. So I've got Gemma Amore's signature there, and I've got, thank you, well it actually says, with love, Nuzo, and that's basically their signature. So, ooh, I don't know, you can see that light might be shining on it. So 2 authors' signatures, always worth having. And my bookmarks are, oh that's cool, yeah, like that one. No, I didn't see that properly. Let me just zoom out a minute. You might be able to. Yeah, there you go. It's rather, I'll keep it out the light because otherwise you won't be able to see it. But yeah, it's rather cool that. I'll follow it across so you can forget the light bit. And on the back, nice. We've got a load of walking people. Is it zombies? Yeah, a load of zombies. And they say things like, I hate having to wait in line. Did you bring a gift? I hate queuing. Feel like I've been here for centuries. The bouncer looks like he could kill me again, and we're going to miss the party. So somebody's got a sense of humour. That's what's on the main bookmark. The secondary bookmark is obviously the Abominable Book Club. It tells you all about it there. You basically scan the QR code and it'll give you the full information. There's a story on the back, which there always is. And that is the horror book subscription box for October 2025. I can't believe I've just done that. I haven't even put the stuff back in the box. Right, sorry. So we have Itch, hardback book. We have Futility, new paperback book. Between the Crosses, second-hand book. Couple of signatures, cool bookmark, them in there. One bag of drinks in there. One slab of fudge. And one very, 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 very cool horror tote bag, which I love. Deb would have liked that. She loved the tote bags, bless her. So, that is what's in. I can say it again now. That is what's in October's horror box for the Abominable Book Club subscription. Now, I think I've got these in the right order for November and December, but if this one's a Christmas box, I apologise. See if there's a date on it so I can try and figure it out. No, there isn't. Right, okay. Stand by, we're going in. We're in, folks. Paper, packaging. Right, what have we got this time? Oh my god, I think this is Welsh. It says Siochled Lachalech Oren, orange milk chocolate. I've never heard of it in my life, and it's a company based in Anglesey. Oh, sorry. It's called Oren, as you can see. Oren. Never heard of that one. Oh. Pin badge. And it's a Balti. Oh, it's the thing. I'll just move it back a bit. Oh, look at that for a pin badge. That's a beast. It's actually from a company called Abracadabra. If you ever get a chance. That's that one. Bag of Worldly Delights, which is me drinks. I don't need to open that, do I? You've seen them all before. Drinks. Second-hand book. There's my scissors. I put them down somewhere. There you go. Oh. What have we got this time? Oh, and another thriller. This one's by a guy called Tony Parsons, and it's called The Slaughterman, and it's a DC Max Wolf thriller. That is the second-hand book, so obviously it's a bit brown on the page, but I don't mind that. So that's another one. Second-hand book. New books. Teenage Girls Can Be Demons by Hailey Piper. I like that name. Teenage Girls Can Be Demons by Hailey Piper. And the thing says, Piper can twist you into otherworldly shapes while still reminding you of your essential heartbreaking humanity. There you go. So that's a new book. Oh, there's another one of these. I do like these. These are kind of not like graphic novels, but if I go like that, you can see there's actually pictures in them, but they are storybooks. And this one is called Remains, and it's by... Oh no, this is issue 3 of Remains. I do apologise, sorry. It's basically got short stories in it and stuff about other world and all sorts, really. But it's called Remains, and that's volume 3. Remains, volume 3. Have I got my signatures? I have. I've got signatures for Hailey Piper. Oops, sorry. Teenage Girls Can Be Demons. And I've got It's Christmas Eve. I wonder what those silly elves have done this morning. Okay. So this must be December's box then, I think. It's got elves on it, but that's the only thing that makes me think it might be Christmas. Abominable Book Club bookmark with the story on the back and the QR code on the front. There. QR code on the front. There you go. And that is what is in either the either the November or the December box. So that's the Book of Remains, Teenage Girls Can Be Demons, second-hand book Tony Parsons, The Slaughterman, nice title, signed Hailey Piper, drinks, orange chocolate bar, and The Thing pin badge. At the moment that's my favourite thing in. I need to put that only because I haven't read the books. So that is what's in either November or December's Abominable Horror Book subscription box. So here we go. This is, I think it's November's box. I think the one I'd just done was December's. So here we go. First item. Snacking Cheese. And it's by the Serious Pig Company. So it's obviously just little bits of cheese for snacking on. That's the treat. Obviously, voila. Drinks. Don't need to open that, you've seen them all before. First book, An Absolutely Wicked Delight, and it's by Alma Katsu, and it's called Fiend. Every family has its demons, apparently. That's the first book. Nice book. Yeah, Alma Katsu. The second one is by John Langan, and it's called Corpse Mouth and Other Autobiographies. 10 Dark Tales of Cosmic Horror. Ooh, that sounds a bit creepy. So that's by John Langan. You can see. That one. I've got an Alma Katsu signature, who wrote Fiend, which was the first book. Got Abominable Book Club bookmark, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story. That's what it says, I don't know why. That's a bookmark, and on the back it says the Abominable Book Club. Then you've got your usual Abominable Book Club, which is story on the bookmark like that, and then the back of the bookmark is literally QR code, scan that, you get all the information about the box and everything. Now we have a second handbook, and it's a thick and it's a big one, as you can see. So let's see what we got this time. This is You Are Fatally Invited. How do you escape a killer who wrote the book on murder? Ooh. A guest was dead, murdered, and it wasn't the one I wanted. Ooh, nice. Sorry. There it is, look. You Are Fatally Invited. And that's by a guy called Andy Pliego? I don't know how you pronounce that. Pliego, that'll do. And that is a second-hand book, although you wouldn't think it looking at it, it looks brand new. It really does look brand new. Yes, that's my second-hand book. That's in it as well. And what's last but not least? We have an art card. I do like my art cards. I think they're really collectible. This one, don't be able to see it properly. It's got a creepy house, but it's also got somebody floating above the house. Somewhere there. Let me get my finger right there. You can just see a figure floating above the house. If I do that, you'll be able to see it better, look. Creepy or what? And that's an art card. So, in this box we've got that art card. Second-hand book, You Are Fatally Invited, by Andy Pliego. I still can't pronounce his name. Couple of bookmarks. An Almakatsu signature for my collection. A brand new book called Corpse Mouth, 10 Dark Tales of Cosmic Terror by John Langan. Almakatsu Fiend. Lots of drinks. And a pack of snacking cheese. Now, if you're interested in the boxes, you will find all the details underneath my vlog. The links basically to sign up. It's very worth it. They do two. They do either the normal books or they do the full guts box, which I subscribe to, and I think it's £27 a month. But these days, let's be honest, you can't really get a lot for £27 a month. So that is my October, November and December boxes for the Abominable Book Club horror subscription box. Well, as you've just seen from that jigsaw gallery, I've been a bit busy doing jigsaws, but of course this time of year, well, the time of year that I was doing my jigsaws, there wasn't really a lot happening. I was looking forward to going away because, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but since my last vlog, I've basically just been counting down the days until I went on holiday. I've actually been away for Christmas and New Year. I went away on the 20th and came back on the 3rd, which was only 3 days ago. 5th. It was only 2 days ago. I'm losing track of where I am. And I had a fantastic time. It's the first time I've been away for Christmas on my own. And I stayed with my really, really good friend slash family, Sarah, who I call Sis, and Mum, which is her mum, Janet. And we had an absolute blast. We really did. It was fun. It was the best Christmas I could have had away from home. Now, the good thing about it was, before Christmas, I was feeling a bit melancholy because obviously my wife passed away on the 2nd of December, so Christmas isn't really something I usually go mad at. But the house where I went has got no connection to Deb whatsoever. She never went there. She never visited there. I only visited for the first time last July, so I knew that there was no connection there. And from the minute I got there, it was brilliant. No problems with the stomach like I had when I went to Deb's mum's. I literally was off food for almost an entire week. I survived on sandwiches and soup. I couldn't face anything else. Every time I looked at food, it made me stomach roll. When I was down with Sarah and her mum, nothing at all. We had lovely food, we had a few drinks, we watched loads of TV. We finally finished Stranger Things, which is great, and I will be doing a review after this speech. A review of Stranger Things and Welcome to Derry, because I've watched both of them. Now, I will give you a spoiler alert that if you do not want to know what happens in either of them, do not watch the next lot. I will put a spoiler alert at the front so you can skip through it. So yeah, we watched that. We watched a load of films, lots of TV. It was just brilliant, it really was. The time went so quickly. I mean, I can't believe I went in December and came back in January. It was like, wow. You know, lots of Christmas presents. Obviously, I've had lots more jigsaws. A couple of pictures are in my jigsaw gallery to show you what I've got to do next. I've got, I think, 164 1,000-piece jigsaws to do now. So that's going to keep me busy in the cold months, which is where you literally, it's too cold, go out, and it's raining or snowing, if it depends where you are. So yeah, it's been really, really good. I still, oh no, you won't know this, but just before Christmas, about 4 or 5 weeks before Christmas, I had my bloods done because of my thyroid, because I take thyroid medication because I suffer with hypothyroidism. And they told me that, yes, I suffered with hypothyroidism, but my thyroid was getting quite high and it looked like I was going to end up hyperthyroid. So they've had to reduce the amount of levothyroxine I take. So I take 175 one day, 150, 175, 150, and so on. Now, at the same time, they also did my blood sugars. Now, I've been borderline diabetic for a while, but this time they told me I was diabetic because you have to be under 47, and I was 48, whatever that means, I've no clue. But anyway, I said to them, I said, well, they asked me all these questions about if I was feeling any symptoms, and I was like, no, not at all, not a thing. And they said, oh, right. They said, well, okay, can you do another blood test? So I went down and did another blood test. Anyway, it was about a week later, and I suddenly thought, I haven't heard of them, so I don't know what the results are. Now, I went on to my app on my phone, my GP app, and onto my medical records, and it said it was now 49. But they still haven't been in touch with me to let me know. So, and I've not got no symptoms of it. I'm not drinking more. I'm not going to the bathroom more. I'm not feeling tired all the time. So I don't get it with my system. It's very, very weird. So I've got to get that sorted out now I'm back. I still haven't got my wet room. I don't know what they're doing about it. I don't know whether it's been cancelled because the landlord didn't get in touch or what. But I still haven't got my wet room, which I'm not happy about. I am not happy about that at all. So yeah, I've come back now, and yeah, you know, the house is quiet and it's quite, you know, boring, if you like, for a bit. And I will find it like that for a while. Obviously, the first couple of days, all you basically do is washing, and more washing. So that's what I basically did. All my clothes, what I'd worn, and unpacking my cases and putting my Christmas presents away. Like I say, I've had lots of pin badges, which you'll see on a later vlog. I've also had lots of jigsaws, few books to read, which I'll be doing book reviews later. So there's a lot to put into my vlogs this year, but I definitely want to start doing them a bit more regularly than once every 3 months, because that's getting a bit silly now. Well, as you can see, I've decided to put my Only Fools and Horses stuff out, and get my Stranger Things items out. Sorry if it goes a bit blurred. These are the little figures that were in my advent calendar. As you can see, they're pretty cool. There's a Welcome to Hawkins sign and one of the mystery capsules, along with a demo, Stranger Things gold ingot just behind there. I've also got the limited edition coin album, a Hopper figure, a couple more from me advent calendar, a Stranger Things, another mystery head, a limited edition Demogorgon ingot. There's the locket with Will and his brother in. And then up there, we've got two of the, basically they're like a transform type thing. They're soft, but basically one is Dustin when he first started and when he ended, and also one is Eddie All that's missing is his guitar, really. And as I come back out, that is my new desktop arrangement for Stranger Things. It's my fault for being lazy, to be honest with you. I've been lazy. I've been bone. But coming up, I've got a review now coming up of Stranger Things. And like I said, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know about it, don't watch this next part. Right, Stranger Things is a Netflix series, and I heard about it, and a lot of people had already watched it way before me. And we found out that season 5 was going to be over Christmas and New Year. So my friend Sarah, she knew I was going down to see her, said if I could watch all 4 seasons before I got to hers, we'd watch season 5 together. So for August, September, October, November and half of December, I have binged watched Stranger Things. The gist of it is, it's a place called Hawkins in America, and it centres around these children and a couple of bit older children, like 20s, in the 20s and that. And basically what it is it's about, they discover that there's a like a monster in another world, but it's not in another world. It's basically what they call the upside down. So you imagine you've got here where we are, but then underneath you've got the same place, but it's darker and there's monsters running around and all that. Now it centres on a main character called 11, played by Millie Bobby Brown. And when she first started it, obviously she was only 11. And that was 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, something like that. Now, basically, she's somebody who's been experimented on in a laboratory. She's got these powers and these abilities to do stuff. And all the way through, it's basically, there could be 4 or 5 stories going on at once, because each character basically has their own story. There's a bit of romance in there, but it doesn't spoil it. It's gruesome. There are quite some pretty rough bits in it that might make your stomach churn. I would say I would give it 9.5 out of 10. I'm a bit mean, aren't I? Because I never give anything 10. But 9.5 is the highest I've ever given any series. What I love about it is it's set in the 80s. And because it's set in the 80s, they can't just look things up on the internet. They can't send text messages to each other. They have to do legwork. They have to research stuff. They have to use their brains, which is definitely a lack of in this day and age. Now, like I said, there's a lot of characters in it. There's Mike, there's Will, there's Lucas, there's Max, there's Nancy Wheeler, there's Jonathan. Yeah, there are other characters in there. You've got the mother of Will and Jonathan. She's in there. I can never remember her name. It always does me head in. But anyway, Ernie, she's in there. And also a bloke who starts off as sheriff, and he ends up basically becoming a sort of hero figure for them all. Joyce, that's the mother's name, Joyce Byers. Yeah, he ends up becoming a hero figure for them all, and they're all sort of relying on him. He's very protective of the main girl in it called 11. Now, the story goes all over the place, from alternate dimensions to upside down worlds to creatures from another universe and all sorts. It's very, very gripping, and it's very, very good. And what I love about it is it stretches your imagination. It makes you think outside the box. And it also allows you to make your own mind up about certain things that happen. I won't give too much away, but certain things happen, and it allows you to use your mind. And depending on whether you're an optimist or a pessimist, depends on how you want the programme to end. I think it's very clever how they've done it. Now, I don't rate TV series very often, particularly not ones from like Netflix and stuff like that, but this one I would have to give it 9.5 out of 10. and I won't explain why I only gave it 9.5 and not 10. It's got to be absolutely knock my socks off before I give it 10, and this is as close as I've got for about 20 years. So it is a belting series. It's got Millie Bobby Brown in it. It's got Finn Wolfhard, David Harbour. I can never remember her name again. It's gone. Winona Ryder. There you go. Got it. Gaten Matarazzo's in it, and there's loads of people in it, and it's really good. Every story will get you going, and there's plot twists and bad guys in it and good people in it, and people that you'll wish, you know, survived, people that you'd want to see dead, etc, etc. But yeah, it's 9.5 out of 10 all the way. It's an absolutely fantastic series. It's called Stranger Things. There's 5 seasons of it. It's all available on Netflix. I don't think it'll ever come out as a Blu-ray box set because Netflix don't have a habit of doing that. But if they do, it's going to be the first one I start watching, watch again from the start, basically. Speaking of that, by the way, just before this section ends, I've got a few little stamps to show you what I've had from Royal Mail. These coming up are, as you can see, these are Stranger Things stamps, and they're a nice little set. I normally only get the presentation pack, but with it being Stranger Things, I wanted a few more different things to go with it. So I've had the presentation pack, I've had the sheet, I've had the limited edition coin. There is lots more on there, so if you go onto royalmail.com and search for Stranger Things, they've got quite a few items on there which are very, very collectible. So yeah, and that's the end of this section, and there we have Stranger Things Netflix TV series, 5 seasons, 9.5 out of 10. An unusual unboxing for you today. We have the Battle of Britain tribute box, when I can get it open. Hold on. Inside, as you can see, we've got lots of blue paper. Now I bought this because obviously it is the anniversary of the 1945, obviously, you know, Battle of Britain. And the first item that's in it is actually, well, you can see that properly, it's a shilling. Let's just see if I can focus. Yeah, you go, look. It's a shilling, so that's the first item that's in the box. The second item is a very, very, very cool tin mug. Sorry, I'll cut some of this out because it's blurry. Right, there we go. It's a tin mug, and it's to commemorate the Battle of Britain. It's been 80 years, sorry. Oh, bloody hell, 85, yeah, sorry. 1940, 85 years. Whew. Wow. Yeah, Battle of Britain mug. Lots of stuff in here to show you. Third item is a RAF Station Ford 1943 Christmas dinner menu. That's pretty cool, isn't it? A replica, obviously. Look at that there, look. Hey, look at that for a meal. It's not bad, is it? Beer, minerals, cigarettes, chipolata sausage. Hey, that's a bad meal, is it, that, really? Another item is a pack of, they're basically like little cigarette cards. Can you see them? They've got all sorts on them. I'll show them in proper pictures at the end of this vlog anyway, so you can see them properly. But there's just a couple of them, sort of on it. Next item is basically showing the fact that certain Spitfires went out on certain days and what their job was to do while they were out there. Basically, as you can see at the top there, it says duty, including results and remarks. The totals are brought forward as well. That takes some reading, that does. And on the back, exactly same sort of thing, different dates, and all basically the report of what happened on that particular day. Got a brilliant keyring, as you can see, when I turn it the right way round. That'll blur, is that blurry? There you go, look at that. A Spitfire. A World War II keyring. That's pretty good, isn't it? I like that. Right. Got another card. yeah, of somebody who served in the forces, obviously. And on the back, an air crew. This is the tribute box certificate of authenticity to prove that it is a proper thing. And inside you've got some limited edition postcards, which again I'll show you pictures of at the end of the vlog. We've also got, this is an official use only, instructions to all officers and airmen of the Royal Air Force regarding precautions to be taken in the event of falling into the hands of an enemy. So you weren't allowed to carry this in the aircraft, but basically it was instructions on what you were allowed to tell them and what you were allowed to do if you got caught. Oof, nice. There's also volunteer for flying duties, which is basically the air crews in the RAF, and as it opens out, oops, sorry, it basically tells you all the story about the needs of expanding the RAF. What else have we got? Oh, actually, it opens up into a poster. I do apologise. It opens into a poster. There you go. These are men that are wanted now. We've got pilots. We've got wireless operators, gunners, air observers. These are the qualifications you required as well. What the RAF offers you, your rank and opportunities, enrolment. Like I said, on the back, you've got all the different places in the UK where you could apply to be in the RAF. Look at all that lot now. Ooh, that is a lot of places. There's the official RAF thing at the bottom. That's another one. Another postcard here, look. Another postcard. And then just making everybody relax before probably flying out again. And obviously last instructions. And we've also got, what's this? This is it's a permanent pass, apparently. Form 557 permanent pass. And basically, it's Royal Air Force, the name of the person, the name of the place, the serial number, the name, the rank, obviously the rank, and the number. And it basically says who signed it as well, stamp and date issued. That's in it. It's a big box, isn't it? It's quite impressive, this. There's one of the postcards again. Back them up. Along with, look at that. They will go on falling. These are the bombs, basically, that were dropped. 1940, 41, 42. Also got, is there some more postcards? Yeah, I'll show you them again at the end, but there's a rough picture there, look. Fitters and riggers inspecting ferry, F-A-I-R-E-Y, battle. And then obviously information on the back. RAF at work. Got another, I don't know what this is actually. It looks like a booklet. Oh, it's an airmail. It's airmail, as you can see. Let me just pull up a bit. Airmail. And this is basically a magazine that was distributed with basically information in and stuff, and all different things to do with, you know, airplanes and what have you. That was called the it's a Royal, I think it must be their magazine. It's called the Airmail. Come back a bit. That was a very famous quote. Never was so much owed by so many to so few. And back them up again on the back. Look, that's that. Oh, this is a good box. This is a really good box. Now what we have here is the Battle of Britain, and basically it's a booklet all about the Battle of Britain. It tells the story of it from start to finish. That'd be a good read. I'll probably read that at some point. As you can see, it's it's quite thick actually. It's quite thick, and it's detailed as well. So that'll be a nice read. The Borough of Hendon Fight It for Fund. I need to say thank you. That's $20,000 is in the 4 fighters or UF, and that is another job done. I cannot permit the campaign to sleep without placing on record our deep sense of appreciation for your personal service. It's basically, you know, 20,000 times to thank to making money of the fund. The Mayor of Hendon. Again, this is the Battle of Britain, August to October 1940. And again, I think there's a lot of pictures in this one. There's more pictures and visuals to see, and these were actually taken from the Battle of Britain. And that's a limited edition box, by the way. And I'm just making sure there's nothing else in there that I've missed. There isn't. That's a limited edition box, and if I'm not mistaken, it was from the Westminster. I think it was from Westminster Collection. But I bought that because, like I said, I wanted a souvenir of basically the lives that were sacrificed for us so that we could still be here today. A lot of people died, not just obviously in the Battle of Britain, but in lots of other things as well. And I personally am very, very grateful for their sacrifice. So, my second TV season review, and this time it's a series called Welcome to Derry. Now, they've only done one season so far, and they are making more. How can I describe it? If you've ever watched the It films, or you're into Stephen King's It, with Pennywise the clown, must watch this series, because basically it tells you exactly where the creature came from, what it is, why it decided to kill people, etc, etc. Anyway, I won't give too much away because, like I said, you might not have seen it, but it is worth watching. I will warn you, if you're squeamish, it will make you feel a bit topsy with your stomach, I'll tell you that now, because there's some parts in it which make you heave. They are what's the word, graphic. They are that graphic that they will make you heave. And the other thing is, if you don't like the old face turning into something strange in front of your eyes and people whose limbs move for no reason, like jerking around all over the place, again, this isn't for you, because there's a lot of that in it. Now, it centres around a load of kids, and basically the story is that the kids are disappearing, and there's an army base not far from where the kids are, and the army base knows about a power that they are trying to release, shall we say, so that it will make people scared. They actually want people to be scared. That's what's weird about it. Again, like I said, spoilers. So if you're hearing this now, don't come to me, because I've already put spoilers saying, I'm giving it away a bit. But basically the government, US Air Force, whatever it is, they know that this thing exists, and they want to harness its power and release its power so that everybody becomes scared again, because they want to scare America, basically. It's bloody stupid, but I can see why it would happen, and I could see a government this day and age doing it as well. Because the best thing for a government to do is make people scared, because when they're scared, you can get them to do anything. And that's the premise behind this. Now, it's got a tune. The starting credits are bizarre, because they heard this weird tune of this girl singing, and this is the starting credits. And me and my friend Sarah, who I was watching it with, we said, what the bloody hell, who is that singing? Anyway, I found out it's from a person called Patience and Prudence, and they were two girls who sang in 1956. This is from, and they've actually included it as the soundtrack, because obviously a lot of it is set in the 60s in Welcome to Derry. It sometimes jumps even further back. Don't get me wrong, it does jump further back than that, but it's mainly set in the 60s. I would give it so far 7 out of 10. It's got a good story, a good premise, but there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come, I can tell a mile off. So it'll probably go up in my estimation, but at the moment I'd give it 7.5 out of 10 for the first season, and that is Welcome to Derry Season 1. So here we have another unboxing. This one is something from my childhood. It's called the Sinclair ZX Spectrum box, and inside it you've got a disc called the Rubber Keyed Wonder, which is basically all about the Spectrum. You've also, this was a freebie that they chucked in. These, believe it or not, they look like compact discs. They're actually coasters. They're drinks coasters, which is well cool. You've also got your certificate of authenticity there, with your sort of, hold on, I'll tell you what's in it. Open it out. There you go. It's a ZX Spectrum Deluxe Collector's Box. Certificate of Authenticity. You've also got a magazine, a booklet called Crash, which basically is all about it. All about the Spectrum and the games that were on it. This takes me back to my childhood. This, I'm looking forward to building. It's obviously something that you have to construct together. You put it together and you sort of make it into a stand-up, basically instructions all about the Spectrum. That comes with it. Sorry, I nearly blinded you then. That comes with it. You get rubber keyed window, the definitive documentary. That's basically the car, a template that's all, you know, it's got the Spectrum on it. This was a computer I grew right up with. Another one. This one says Practical Wireless. I'm not taking them out of the packaging because I'll never get them back in. That's the second one. This one takes me back as well. The amount of times I had to use this when I was writing programs for it. Brake space. These are all metal. These are all metal, by the way, the tin actual stands. You've also got in there, oh blimey, a Spectrum collector's edition cassette. As you can see, cassette. See, these are all things from the past. How cool is that? That is literally a miniature ZX Spectrum, complete with ports on the back. That is absolutely brilliant, and it is not light, I will tell you that now. It's quite heavy, that is, but that is what the Sinclair ZX Spectrum was like. And this was my first ever computer back in the very, very early 80s. My mum bought it me for Christmas. I absolutely love that. That is fantastic. I've just opened this, and it is actually a cassette, the Rubber Keyed Wonder, and it is actually a cassette of 40 years. 40 years of the ZX Spectrum. It's a collector's edition one again. That's another item that's in it. Some very, 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 very smart wristbands. And that is a fantastic box set, which I treated myself to, because there's no way in a million years people are going to buy me that. So this is my treat for myself. And as I said, it is actually... that's what it's actually called. The ZX Spectrum Deluxe Collector's Box. It's got a proper signature down the bottom there. And it's a limited edition. And that is my certificate of authenticity. But that is a new box, which I've never had before. So, yeah, I thought I'd do an unboxing. Well, as you've just seen, I've got a lovely Spectrum box there that you've just seen me open. Takes me back, to be honest, takes me right the way back to my childhood. It really does. Anyway, this is the last word, and it's loss. Now, it was going to be coping, because at the start of this year, obviously on the 3rd of January, it was 2 years since my wife was cremated, and it still hits hard for me. But, at the same time, I've known 2 people now lose somebody at the start of this year. Now, the first person, I won't go giving names because, you know, they might be quite private, but they lost their father. And the second person I know, they lost their best friend, somebody who they looked up to. Now, one of them was older, don't get me wrong, one of them was older, but one of them, the second one, was only 54 years old. And he was a non-smoker, non-drinker. Goes to the gym, went to the gym a lot, did all that, and he was found dead. No, he hadn't taken his life, don't jump to that conclusion. It just looks like he's died in his sleep at the moment. But loss. We take life for granted. People do. They do stupid things. Like, just as a quick aside, I read something this morning about a YouTube or a TikTok couple, I can't remember what it was, and they were doing a prank for one of their videos. It went wrong, and the woman ended up shooting her partner dead because they were doing a prank, and it went wrong. Now, what is it about people that they don't get this? That life is so fragile. It is literally, it's like porcelain. It can break at any second. Now, you could be having the time of your life, you could be having a holiday of a dream, you could be in the middle of the Caribbean or whatever. But if it's your turn to die, mate, you will drop dead no matter what the hell you do, no matter how you look after your body, no matter what vitamins you take, no matter what medical treatments you have. If you are due to die, mate, you will die. I thoroughly believe that. You get people saying, you know, they've had close experiences where they almost died. Well, they obviously weren't meant to die then. Now, if you've ever watched the Final Destination films, they basically say that if death misses you one time, he'll come back for you. Now, the trouble is, how would you know it was your turn and you'd escape death? Like today, I was just having a day in the house and doing my vlogs and whatever. But my friend Tony from next door, my bro, he asked me if I wanted to go to Lidl to do some shopping. Well, I haven't done any shopping at Lidl for about 6 months physically. So I went with him. Now, I don't know whether me going out today has started a chain reaction of events that could lead to me dying tomorrow. You know, it could lead to me choking on something that I bought today. Nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows. And I just don't get how people can be so blasé about life. They sort of, oh yeah, you know, I'll do this and I'll do this. I'll put my life on the line and risk. Don't get me wrong, if you're doing it as a job, I've got a lot of respect for the fire service, the ambulances, the crews, all that sort of stuff, that people who are, you know, protecting us and all that. But if you're just doing it for get YouTube views or TikTok flipping followers or whatever, I'm sorry, there are easier ways. I mean, I've got nearly 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I never do anything that's stupid, dangerous or ridiculous. Yeah, okay, I might lose out on 10,000 flipping followers, but at least I'm still here. I'm not doing anything stupid like necking a bottle of Jack Daniels or, you know, trying to hold my breath for 5 minutes and seeing if I can get brought back to life. I mean, come on, seriously. Seriously, life is so fragile and so short that if you're willing to take risks like that, well, quite frankly, you shouldn't have been given a life in the first place, because there's people out there who looked after themselves, who were brilliant people. They never fell out with anybody. They were wonderful. Yes, okay, I'm talking about my wife. And they never crossed anybody, and yet gone at 47. Bang. And she didn't take no risks. She didn't do anything silly. She didn't do anything stupid. The closest she got to doing anything was about 4 years ago when she did the Race for Life on the fronts at Blackpool, and she did it brilliantly. Well, 4 years, I say 4 years, it was longer than that now. But she did that, and she was brilliant. She did great. She was knackered at the end of it, obviously, but she did it, you know, and that's as brave as we got, because we're not one of these couples that, you know, do silly things and skydive and, you know, paragliding and all that kind of guff. I'm like, nah, I'm all right, Tar. I don't trust my legs, let alone anything underneath me wheels or air or flipping anything. You know, I must be, I don't know, a wimp. I don't know. But yeah, loss. Now, when you think about loss, everybody reacts differently to loss, right? They do. I mean, you could have one person who says, oh, well, life goes on, and move on. You could have another person who it could absolutely destroy, and they never recover from it. Now, it doesn't mean that that person's weak. It just means they deal with it differently. Now, for the first year after Deb passed away, loss were hitting me massive, because I don't remember much about 2024 at all. It went in a blur. I didn't really feel anything until the following year on the anniversary of Deb's passing. And that's when it started to hit me hard then. Before that, it was like, I don't know, it was like I was a zombie. I wasn't feeling anything, I can't remember anything, I didn't know what I was doing or what, you know, I just got through the year, and that's all I remember. And like I say, the problem with loss is it doesn't always manifest itself straight away. You don't feel that you've lost somebody because you won't accept it. You might not accept it for the first 6-12 months. I certainly didn't. I didn't accept it at all, and that loss, it didn't feel like she was lost. It felt like she was going to come walking through the door any minute, or I was going to get a call from the hospital say there'd been a big mistake, go back, and she'd be there waiting for me. And I was praying for that. I really was. I was doing everything I could, mate. I'd made a deal with anybody to get her back, because she was my life, you know, and she always will be my life. And I think that when somebody loses somebody, it can be a really dangerous, slippy slope. I mean, I was lucky in some respects because I had family and friends around me, and I also have quite a lot of willpower. So when it comes to things like going down the alcohol road, or going down the drugs run, or even going back to gambling again, just to make myself feel better, I didn't do any of those things. I chose not to. And it would have been so easy because I had got alcohol in the house, I'd got bottles of whiskey and all sorts, but I kept saying to myself, would Deb want me to do that? Would Deb want me to disappear down a whiskey barrel, you know, and turn up at the bottom of a glass with 2 ice cubes? I don't think so somehow. And it was that kept me saying, you know, you need to live your life. I mean, I'm not moving on as in going out with somebody or going settle down with anybody. If it happens, fair enough. If it happens, I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I'm not going to go looking for it. I'm not one of these people who needs to move on to somebody else. I still find the nights lonely. I find them very, very, very lonely. And I was lucky over Christmas and New Year because, like I said, I spent 2 fantastic weeks with my friends Sarah and her mum Janet, and that was brilliant because we had something to do every single night until about 11:30, you know, so them nights had gone. When I came back, it was a bit more of a struggle. I was trying to find things to watch, and I think so far this year in the evenings I've watched 17 films and I've watched 4 series and 5 episodes of another series. So I've been filling my time in the evenings with films and TV series. And sometimes, you know, you might have somebody who fills their time with going out to the pub or seeing the friends or having family over. And it's all part of loss, you know. Loss is, it's massive. Loss, grief. I'm a member of a thing called Grief Moving Forward online. And the amount of people that are on there that just can't move forward. They can't. They don't know how to. They've never experienced it. They suddenly find that they've lost the mum, the dad, the brother, the sister, the husband, the wife, and it could have been of somebody they've known for 60 years or somebody they've known for 1 year. You know, it doesn't mean that because you've known somebody 60 years you're going to feel it more. It doesn't mean that at all. I mean, I was with Deb for 23 and a half years, and we were married for 9 of them. And those 23 and a half years flew past in a blur, you know. And I think that's literally nearly a quarter of a century I spent with Deb. And she spent with me, bless her. And yeah, I know people say, oh, they're in a better place and all this kind of stuff. And if you believe that, then fair enough. I've got nothing against that. If you think that, you know, they go to heaven and she's up there playing a harp or whatever, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But I do hold in my heart the hope that one day I will see her again. Whether it be at my death's door, you know, when I'm drawing my last breath. If she appears to me, fantastic. If I go on to another life and she appears, fantastic. But I'm not consigning myself to believing that that's the last time I'll ever see her. I don't believe that. But that's loss for you see. I mean, I was lucky in some respects because I turned to poetry, and poetry is what I do. And I've written, what, 30, maybe 30 poems now about grief, loss and coping. And sometimes I'll just be sitting there watching a film and one will come into my head randomly and I'll just have to stop the film and then write it quickly before I forget it. So, yeah, loss, it's just one of those things. You can't tell somebody how to cope with it. You can't give them advice how to cope with it because everybody's loss is different. But yeah, it's a massive long vlog today. As you've noticed, there's been unboxings, TV series reviews and talking and jigsaw galleries, and the top of my desktop now it looks good with all my stamps and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've not done a vlog since the 9th of October, believe it or not. 9th of October was my last one. It definitely won't be another 3 months before I do another one, I know that for a fact. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've managed to get this far, brilliant, and I shall do another vlog a lot sooner than 3 months. You all take care. I hope you're doing well at the start of the year, and all the best for 2026.